Hello my lovely herd! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Sings, and in today's video I want to go over a stadium build with all of you guys. This is the build that I use most with my friends, but it's still a good build while playing solo if you swap up the order of the powers to fit a specific game that you're in. I know that I do that. I also tend to pivot my builds mid-game because I tend to use roughly the same 2 or 3 powers each game. This allows for diversity in my gameplay if a certain build isn't working out with my teammates. That's the flexibility of certain powers that Mercy has. I've named this one Enabler Pocket Mercy. With this build, you're able to pocket without the fear of people toppling over because of the damage that's incoming from the enemy team. I will give you some heads up, if you have an AP Rocket build Juno, one of those goofy DPS Zenyatas, or a Reddit Lucio, this build does not synergize with it very well early on. It comes online typically around round 3 and later with those heroes, so don't worry if you're getting absolutely walloped by an enemy team. In a typical game, these are what the rounds are going to look like, and don't worry, I'll have the share code for this build up on the screen during this, as well as in the description. For round 1, my first power is always going to be Threads of Fate. Unless you're going up against a Freya, then you're going to want to pick Protective Beam, but my first one is always Threads of Fate. You're going to be picking Compensator and Weapon Grease alongside Armored Vest. As of making this video, Armor is currently coded wrong in the game and is bugged, so Armored Vest is completely broken. Otherwise, I'd pick First Aid Kit. For round 2, I'm going to sell everything so I can know how much money I have made, and then I'll be grabbing Chain Evoker. If I have enough money, I'll be grabbing Weapon Grease first, because attack speed is always better than raw weapon power on Mercy. If I have enough after that, I grab Compensator. I don't have it listed here, but I'm going to go into Survival. And here at Heartbeat Sensor, if I have 3.5 kick, I'll be grabbing Heartbeat Sensor. The 5% movement speed on this is severely underrated here in round 2. For round 3, if you picked Protective Beam on round 1, pick Threads of Fate here. If you picked Threads of Fate in round 1, go ahead and pick Protective Beam here with me. Now, here on round 3, I'm going to sell all of my stuff so I know how much money I have. We're going to start getting our blue items. Typically on round 3, I can only buy these 2, Aftermarket Firing Pin and Talon Modification Module. If I have enough money, I do go ahead and buy Weapon Grease to add on to it so I can get an even 15-15 on my weapon power and attack speed, because I always want my attack speed to either be equal to or more than my weapon power. Alright, we're on to round 4 now. We're going to keep everything we have, which is Chain Evoker, Aftermarket Firing Pin, and Talon Modification Module. And we're going to add in these other 2 blue items, which is Icy Coolant and Advanced Nanobiotics. The good thing about Advanced Nanobiotics is that after healing an ally, gain 10% attack speed. So right now it looks like we only have 10%, but with Advanced Nanobiotics we get an extra 10%, so that's actually at 20 now. I am going to add in Weapon Grease if I have enough, so that I do have up to 25. While I'm not happy with the ratio that I have being 30-25, it's good enough for round 4. I will say this is extremely costly for round 4, so if you need to take any of these off to make it a more cost-effective round for you, definitely go ahead and do that. Something would be more like taking rid of this to get it to a 15-25, or even getting rid of this to make it more of like a 15-20. This would probably be more of a realistic round 4 for some people. Hey there, little sheepy. Stopping in to say, if you're enjoying the video, leave a like and a comment. Oh, and if you aren't already, make sure to subscribe. Now back to it. Alright, now we're going into round 5. You can definitely buy all of these now into round 5. Chain Evoker, Aftermarket Firing Pin, Icy Coolant, Advanced Nanobiotics, Talon Modification Module, and Weapon Grease. As for my power, I'm going to be picking Crepuscular Circle, so that it goes hand in hand with Protective Beam and then our round 7 item, which is Distortion. And for me, round 5 and even round 4 are more of like eco rounds. So I'm not going to really be buying or selling anything unless I can, and I'm rich as all hell. In that case, I would be switching around some of these items for some of the purple items, and that's just per game. It's not really set in stone, my build. It's just per game. I would switch out specific items for specific items. Alright, now we're into round 6. I'm going to, again, sell everything. And then I want to buy Amari's Antidote and Booster Jets if I can. If I can't get both of these, I'll just think about what the map is and what I want to prioritize. Like if I have a really tanky tank, like beefy tank like Reinhardt, or maybe like Zarya or Diva who gets shredded really fast after using all their cooldowns, I will pick Amari's Antidote. If I have a tank that can really self-sustain someone like Junker Queen or Orisa, I'll go Booster Jets. And then after that, I'll just tack on something like Talent Modification Module, and then Advanced Antibiotics, and then Weapon Grease. So now I'm at 35. This is really good for round 6, and that's all we really need. Just raw output for this round, so that hopefully we either win or we move on to a really healthy round 7 for our team. Alrighty, we are on to round 7. Final round, it's neck and neck. What are we going to do with our build? First, I'm gonna sell my blue and my greens. Now, not even depending on the map, not depending on anything, I'm going to pick Caduceus X because it goes really well with our power here, our Chain Beam Valkyrie, Crepuscular Circle. Now we're at 25-20. I personally love Advanced Antibiotics. The advantage you get with this, with Mercy, is just top notch. The 10 attack speed is just so worth it for being such a cheap item. If we have unlimited money like we do in the armory here, I would pick Aftermarket Firing Pin, but we don't. It's gonna be in the real game. So if you're strapped on cash, just add in Weapon Grease. Super cheap 1k, 5 attack speed for a 30-35. But if you do have unlimited cash, like you have 80k, 70k, 60k, Aftermarket Firing Pin would be really good for a 40-30. However, this would be more likely the build that I would go for because it's more for enabling your whole team, enabling a pocket style playstyle. But this is typically what I would pick in a real game. For my power, I'm going to be picking Distortion here, so that while the enemy team is pumping damage into my team will be retaliating with damage, hopefully, but then they're also going to be life stealing back. So they're going to be at an advantage with this. And remember back in round 3, we also got Protected Beam. That is going to apply to their massive health pools now. Now think of that on a tank, think of that on your Junkrat, your Soldier, your Genji, going into their backline, while also lifestealing. Also being chain beamed through a wall with your Threads of Fate, while also being 33% longer on your beam. That's why you have all these combined. That's why this is called the Enabler Pocket Mercy. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. You can also ask me any questions in my Discord or on Twitter. If you happen to see me in game, since Stadium is my main game mode now, I most likely won't respond because my chats are all turned off in my settings. I will be with my friends like 99% of the time, so they'll let me know if anyone said something kind to me. Otherwise, if you happen to catch me during a rare solo queue time, I apologize sincerely, but I probably have missed the message. I promise, I'm not ignoring you. I quite literally just don't see them. Take care of you sheep. Bye!